Good morning. My name is Penny Lee Deere. I am recording this in preparation for an interview with Sara, who's doing a project for in Girl Scouts. I've previously communicated with 4 Girl Scouts from the same community, I believe, but I wanted to share with you what I wrote originally, and then Sara, I will answer your questions individually as well. This is what I wrote. I'm just going to read the document. Basic training in Women's Army Corps. Basic training was the start of a brand new life for me, more than a career. I became something bigger than just myself. I was one of them. My name was Penny Lee Madden, a member of the Women's Army Corps. I am very proud to be a WAC, and I consider myself part of living history, as you will find out as you follow my journey. We all fell in Dress Right Dress from all the different walks of life. We learned together all the terms that you needed to know to make it through the next 6 weeks at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. The unit was broken down into segments. We were Charlie 17-5. I was in the A Alpha platoon of Charlie Company and the 17th Battalion of the 5th Brigade of the Women's Army Corps at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. We further broke down into squads, even sections within each other's squad, known as teams. Each member of this cherry unit knew her place. We were called out by our last names only. We were the first Women's Army Corps to make it with a drill sergeant, a DI, a male drill sergeant, that is, where they try to tear you down and build you back up. For this naive country girl looking for something different, only to rebuild the best of the best in the Women's Army Corps, with pride, endurance, confidence, respect, and grit. Looking back, I now realize that what it took to step out of my comfort zone. I'm from upstate New York, very country, secluded. We were basically a bunch of white people trying to hoe out a living. I had no idea that the Army would help me become part of a complex, diverse culture. When I joined the Women's Army Corps, there was only 13,000 of us total, making up 7% of the Army. We are currently about 13% strong in the armed forces and still marginally recognized. I joined the Women's Army Corps on a program called Delayed Entry, April 1975, while in high school, a senior. This will come into play with my pay later in the career and the date of the basic pay entry date. I get credit for serving 6 months prior as a reservist status. To physically go to training, I would not leave until November 1975. This date is also known as the basic active entry date. Now, why should I mention this? These specific dates? Well, it's entirely important. You see, it meets certain criteria. Because I went into the service before May 7th, 1975, I am considered part of the Vietnam era. Also remember, as part of the Women's Army Corps initially, however, this would change since in 1978 we would be no longer be segregated, we are consolidated with all men, and we became official members of the United States Army because they disbanded the Women's Army Corps that had been in existence since 1943. As a matter of fact, when I first joined the service, I wasn't allowed to be married or have children. If somebody happened to have children already, they would have to give custody to someone else. If you happen to end up pregnant, you would be discharged, dishonorably discharged, that is. When I left my childhood home for the Army, I knew that I would be gone for 20 years. I wanted to retire at the age 39. I would say that that took grit. There was something instilled in me prior to me joining the Army. This is what I'm going to say for now. And then, Sarah, I will answer all your questions on a separate video. Thank you.